Hello. Welcome. I'm not on the... Hello. Wasn't on Facecam there. How is everybody doing? Well, a lot of stuff in the chat. I know I'm late. But, hello. Let's see. Just quickly reading the chat. It feels like it's been forever. Also, I apologize. Wait. Hold on. I don't even know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yeah, you should be able to hear me. Okay. I've been doing a lot of recording through Streamlabs. I was gonna say off camera, not streaming, I guess. And I changed a bunch of settings. Plus, we've got the SM7B. It's not totally perfectly set up yet. I'm realizing it doesn't have all of my magical settings that I like, so you can hear more of the heat and stuff. But hopefully, it'll be a better experience soon, and hopefully, it's a better experience than the Yeti has been. So, either way, we've got something very new today. Something I've never done on stream before. We're going to be doing the thing I did in the video Friday. The Funnyplaying brand new motherboard. And I have already pre-tinned this. I didn't do it for any specific reason. I didn't do it to prepare for the stream. I was initially gonna make a video where I saved a broken SP by putting the chips on here. But while they have the same RAM, they do not share the same CPU, even though it says CPU AGB on the CPU for the SP. It's a whole thing that is really annoying to me. If it is its own CPU, it should be CPU AGS, not CPU AGB, because that would mean that's for this, or the same as this. No, this is CPU AGBA. The SP is CPU AGBB, and there can be other revisions of the AGBB, so it'd be AGBB D and E, and it's so stupidly confusing. But either way, we're gonna take these two chips off of here. Probably could just give it a new speaker. This speaker it's a little dirty, but it does look fine. But there's an amp in here, so we should probably use a new Funnyplaying speaker. I don't even know if I still have Funnyplaying speakers. Ooh, I might not. We'll see. I know I've got aftermarket speakers for the SP, or wow, the AGB. We'll just go with that. Anyways, GBA. Goodness gracious, my brain is tootin'. But I'm gonna do what I normally do for streams, and I'm gonna shout out everybody who has said something in chat. If you want me to say your name, if you want me to say hello to you, say something in chat right now. Because by the time you're hearing this, I should be actually saying the last few names in real life. We got Teddy Boo, Zifoxy, DC, Jeremiah, DJ Ames, Patrick, my mom, One Up VR, Lars, Fox Vengas, and Charles. I believe I didn't skip any names here. Hello. Welcome. I'll read chat because I thought there was going to be more names than that. There's just a lot of the same people talking in chat, which is good too. I wonder if he ever plans on making other console mods like the GameCube, Wii, etc. And if he does, if he did, goodness, and if he did, does he have a tier list of his favorite mods versus non-favorite? I do mod GameCubes. Other than GameCubes, I don't know. I I'm getting a lot more comfortable soldering with like tough stuff like this. So maybe I'll try some HDMI mods, but it's also not particularly something I want to do live because the I tend to do worse when I'm live. I don't know. I guess the pressure gets to me, but when it's something like an HDMI mod and you're soldering to a CPU, I don't really want the extra added pressure. Uh, but I feel kind of comfortable doing this. I don't know. I wanted to try this live because I think it'll be a good stream. It'll be fun, and there's more that I can show off in a stream than I would in a video because it would just get really boring in a video. And if you're coming into a stream and expecting zero cuts, I feel like this will be more entertaining. Anyways, GameCube is fine because there's no. I mean, there is an HDMI mod for it, but I don't think it's necessary. I think the adapter is just fine. And other than that, most consoles beyond the GameCube are software mods, and those are boring. So, yeah, maybe I'll do a RGB mod to NES or SNES one of these days. How about them Cowboys? Too painful to talk about. Perfect. My parents are both very proud. Yes. Everybody can hear me. Cool. Is it easy to change the battery on a Game Boy cartridge? I'm I'm trying to change the battery on my old Link's Awakening cartridge since it won't save anymore. It's fairly easy. If it's your first time soldering, just I would grab Flux. Flux is your friend, and just don't rip the battery out of the stuff. Don't try and do it without soldering. It's really bad. It hurts my eyes. I know that some people do it and they think it's fine, and it'll technically work. Yes, if you rip the battery out and don't hurt yourself in the process, and then use electrical tape to keep it all together like some people do. But don't do that. Just learn to solder. It'll help you fix things more than just that in the future. But yeah, I have a couple shorts on it, and done. I have a like, yeah, I have a couple videos where I swap like hundreds of Game Boy game batteries. So watch those videos, and you'll probably feel pretty comfortable doing it. Weird, weird, weird. Why are two GBA boards different? And this is coming from someone who, with no knowledge on modding handhelds. Something just sounds very off about this. It is very weird. I don't get it either. But yeah. Can we see the backside of the Funnyplaying GBA PCB? It confuses me that there is such a lack of SMD components. And do you see any circuitry of power cleaning on the board? Rux is also my friend. Flux and Rux are your friend. Fox is your friend? Cool. Yeah, I as far as power cleaning mods, I think they're snake oil. I have not tried them, but from what I've heard from friends who know more than me, uh, they seem like snake oil. Anyways, if you're having sound issues, just replace your capacitors. But anywho, yeah, there's a lot more stuff on the back than there is on the front. It's mostly LEDs and resistors for the LEDs on the front, which is nice because you want to see the cool stuff, and you're not going to see the cool stuff so much on the front as you will on the back. But you've got all of the stuff you need for amp and sound and power over on this side. Completely redesigned from the ground up. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Gold plated contacts for the cart reader, which is cool. All of it is gold plated. This is silvery because there's solder already on it. Because what I said earlier, I tried to do this with the SP CPU and it did not work. But I will get back to answering comments or whatever, reading chat. That's what I was trying to say. In a minute, let's get out the tools we need to do this mod. Actually get started a little bit. So, PCB holder. It's not very good. It's actually very frustrating to use this thing, but we still are going to use it. Hot air. That is a really, really old... I'm just going to mute it. Where is it? I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting really tired of those. I'm also paying $10 a month for it to not be accurate. I need to cancel that, and I keep forgetting. I just don't notice it because it just lumps in with my subscription and all of the labels. They don't charge me for shipping labels until it hits like a certain threshold, and like, okay, you owe us a lot of money, pay us, please. And it's lumped in with my $30 a month for Shopify, and then whatever apps I have on top of my Shopify. And so I just never notice it. And then I notice it on stream, and I forget about it by the time I'm done streaming. Mom and Dad, if you can remind me. Cancel the notifications thing on stream. Cool. But we are going to... Let's lock this PCB in here now. Also, another reason why I wanted to use the nicer mic for stream today is because we're using hot air and that gets pretty loud. So, volume warning. If you're wearing headphones, there's not going to be any like loud, sharp noises out of nowhere. There shouldn't be, at least. But it might get annoying, and it will probably sound a little better to some of your ears if you're not wearing headphones. And if you have no other choice, I'm sorry. But I'm going to unplug my laptop, and hopefully it doesn't die. It's pretty full on battery. What are we at? We're at 95%. Okay, we're fine. I just can't do an entire stream on just battery unless it's a short one. And this could be a short one because it is a very simple process. It's like 3 steps, but it can take a long time. I guess another part to it, let's start with that, because I don't really want to have to cut the hot air. So let's do that now. I'm going to attempt to use hot air to place this back down. And gosh, why do they have to put a lot of this so close? But either way, because I'm going to attempt this with hot air, we are going to cover the board with Kapton tape, because Kapton tape is heat resistant. So when we place this down onto other components, they shouldn't get heated up and move off of where they need to be. And I'm realizing now that this board has a bigger it has a bigger RAM piece than the last RAM piece I tried. There are two different sizes of RAM, that's why there's two different rows of pins on this. Oh, my hat. Sorry. I gotta see this though. I gotta get close up on it. Cool. There's that. And then we'll get out the itty bitty Kapton tape to cover the last few components up. Wherever the mark is. I guess I can respond to chat now. Let's see. Been subbed for a very long time. Heard of you originally from an Austin Evans. Shout out to your channel and been subbed ever since. Thanks. Benjamin. To make sure that doesn't get in the way. Okay, there's that one component right there. I do want to cover it up. Dang it. Okay. Cool. Hopefully the RAM will allow me to remove that piece of Kapton tape. If not, it doesn't matter. Okay. I mean, I guess technically it'd probably be good to wrap this around the link port a bit, because we don't want the plastic on the link port to melt, but that's also a semi-easy replacement. So we'll just do that. That should be fine. Okay, I think we are covered up enough. I don't know if I should technically put some on the back, because I don't want it to like heat up the back part. I guess that's just a risk we're gonna have to take, unless anybody knows more than me in chat. But long time no see. Hello, Stellars. How you been? Pink PCB will is be a Kirby case mod tonight? No, this is just gonna be plain clear, because I wanted people to be able to see it. So it's gonna be all clear shell, which kind of goes against my what I like with LED mods, because these are littered with LEDs. I don't like all clear shells because it kind of ruins the whole diffusion thing. But some people like it, and I'm not the one buying it. I'm not keeping this one. Anyways, I'm going to put that one off to the side again. I'm going to use this flux. It really does not matter. I bought multiple different types of flux a long time ago. And I don't prefer this one or the other one I bought that I don't use. Because they kind of... This one smells nice, but the one I normally use doesn't like make me cough if I accidentally inhale it. This will just like cloud the entire area, which when I have to use a lot of it for this, I'd rather just try and waste it as much as possible to get rid of it. Okay. Let's do this. So you have to desolder. I'm going to turn on the hot air, by the way, so it's going to get a little louder. We're going up to 350C. I've never seen or heard of these motherboards before. What advantage they have over Nintendo ones? They're just brand new. They've redesigned how the power and audio works, so it's a little more modern. It's just better, and it can save Game Boys like this that are covered in corrosion. And this might be able to be fixed. This could be fixed potentially. That's what I'm trying to say, but I don't think I could. And by moving these two chips over to that board, it'll save it. We are up to heat. Not up to speed, but up to heat. So we are going to just... Alright, I'm going to... Hopefully, it'll keep... Actually, here, let's do this. Hold up. I'm going to go into menu. Whoop. Go to manual focus. There we go. Cool. Now, I shouldn't have to worry about it going out of focus. And you guys can watch all of the things happen. Uh-oh. The corrosion is getting onto the pins. It's not a big deal because I can clean it off, but I don't like that. We're at max airflow, which is not necessarily good if you don't want to accidentally remove the components around it. But I don't really care what happens to the rest of this board. Come on now. The dismount was bad, but we got it off the board. This will be easier because it's only two sides of pins. That was just hard to get all four sides melted. But we should... See what I mean? Oh. Whew. Actually, I did all that prep work to hopefully not have to keep the hot air going. There might be a lot more noise now because it's sitting on the table. But I do want to look at all of this stuff. This is really hot. So if you are doing this, don't touch the board right after. It keeps running until, like, I've turned it off, but it'll keep running until it's down to 100 degrees Celsius, I think. It's cooling itself, I believe. Okay, these don't retain much heat, if at all. I also have to be mindful, hoping it doesn't rub or vibrate itself off of the table. That is a noticeable difference in sound. There we go. I'm just reading all the chat real quick. I am not sure that the CPU and RAM are still okay, but as far as I'm aware, they're probably going to be pretty fine unless they're like visibly damaged. So and I don't see any visible damage to them, but I think that's just a part of the risk involved. So I'm going to zoom back out for a minute. Too far. This doesn't retain any heat, or it's cooled down already. The RAM looks fantastic. So there isn't any corrosion on these pins. This looks beautiful. So I'm going to leave that alone for now. Okay. Looking at this, we can zoom in on this. So, here's the CPU. And you can see some dark spots up in this corner here. And that's just a little bit of corrosion. I think I'm just going to try... just going to get my... oops. I'm going to get my toothbrush. Some IPA. Trying to do this without bending the pins is kind of hard. Have to be very careful. These are very sensitive little guys. I think I'm just going to try and clean it post solder. Unless I can just scrape it off with my fingernails real quick. I think all of the pads are fine, so I will just try clean it off after we've soldered it down. So did I say dry? Clean. I think it'll be fine soldering it down. I'm going to plug in my soldering iron real quick. Almost fell over. That was sweet. And we're going to add a bit of solder to this end over here. Come on now. That's it. That is legitimately all we want on there. Just that little bit. Okay, now we're gonna try and put my hat backwards for you guys so I don't accidentally cover it up. Take another drink because I want to cough. Erwin. Hello. Why don't I 3D print a holder for the hot air gun? Because I don't have a 3D printer. And I don't know how to 3D model. Also, it's got a holder. It's just built into it. I guess it's not built into it. I just always keep it on there. It just still vibrates because it's touching the table. I do want to get another 3D printer. I want to give it another try now that they're a little bit better since I last messed with them. But we are going to try and line up all of this. Okay. I'm also going to get out my dental tools because we're going to need it in a minute anyway. So, is this all the way zoomed in? All right, I'm gonna see if I can adjust my mic. So I'm gonna get real close. Might get a little dark because my head might block some of the light. And I'm hoping I don't block it with my head. But I'm just trying to line up all of these pins. And my parents right now are thinking, how are you able to see this? Well, other people might be thinking that too, but okay. I'm gonna block it right now because I'm just making sure it's all lined up and it's so close. Okay, that's sick. Oh gosh, that moved the camera a little bit. I'm gonna try and do the RAM now too for funsies. Gotta make sure it's the right orientation too. No way. Okay. I was going to say, no way I've placed that perfectly. Oh, I'm blocking it. Dang it. It's just bound to happen. Trying to get out of the way. We're too far over. Okay. Now, hopefully, readjust the mic here. Now, hopefully, I don't knock this. I'm putting it next to it. I did touch it there. I'm touching it. Dang it. Should have put the flux down first. Now I get to check it again. I'm just gonna block it. Okay, we're good. Oh, cool. Yep, that flux feels like it's damaging my lungs. Scott! There's 2 Scotts in here. Okay. See, I have the day off from work, so I'm taking a break from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Nice. You got the notification 30 minutes after. Dang. Okay. And you should ideally not, or have it not touching anything hot if you design it right. Oh yeah. I'm probably not gonna design anything for this. It's fine. Okay. We are up to 350C. Yeah, I've been leveling up, mostly behind the scenes lately, but you guys will see some of my more advanced stuff in the coming months. It's exciting, but we're going to heat all of this up and hopefully not move any components. That's what the Kapton tape's for, but I can see some flux getting underneath it. I'm also gonna turn down the airflow a little bit. It all smells lovely. I feel like I need to turn up the airflow a little bit more. So I feel like it's not soldering down at all, but I also kind of need a microscope for this. think I'm just going to focus on one line at a time here. Still spread the heat around, but there we go. Looks like the solder's actually starting to melt. Gets a little shinier. Okay, let's check out the RAM over here. This looks nice and shiny. Okay. Turning that off. It's gonna take a bit to cool down. Whew. We had to sit and wait to admire the work. The YouTube Zoom function finally worked for you. Nice. Finally came in handy, you should say. Just gonna inspect it a little bit. My eyes. I'm thinking that I may have put this piece of Kapton tape a little too close. Yeah, I think it went a little underneath. That's fine though. I don't think... I feel like a lot of the pins on the CPU didn't get soldered down properly, which is fine, but it's my first time, really one of my first times using this. So we got about 40 degrees to cool down before that turns off. Bear with me. I don't know how bad it sounds. I just can see the levels and it's louder than the music, so... Start taking a piece of Kapton tape off. The Kapton tape's not going to be warm. There we go. And it looks like none of the components on the back melted off. That's good. We can zoom back out a little bit. Okay, the cart slot that is full of gold, or gold-plated metal, is warm. It's very warm. Still. Is that warm? It's covered by Kapton tape, so it shouldn't be. Cool. I'm done with the hot air. That's why I'm taking all of this off. We're just going to be soldering and microscoping. How? There we go. What does the fourth pin to the right on the top side control? The D-pad. I don't know. That's a joke for those who might not get it. I have no idea. I don't know what any of these pins do. I could probably look it up in the schematics. It would take me an hour to read it, but I still have the GPU and CPU, so I'm practicing to make sure I don't mess up the next board I get. Yeah. Seeing you attempt it did make me like 10 times more nervous to try it, but it didn't end up too bad. The CPU does look slightly crooked, but I don't think it actually is like off center. Ooh, it kind of is. Dang, I might have to bust out the hot air again. The RAM looks good though. All right, let's see. Is this warm? No, we're good. I'm gonna put this back into the PCB holder. Okay, and we're gonna get the. Did I break my Stream Deck? Did I break my Stream Deck with hot air? It's not warm. There we go. Okay, we're working. I don't know why it turned off. I had to re-plug it in. We're chilling. I'm also gonna get the this guy out of the way. But I'm going to take a minute to set up the microscope. And plug my laptop back in. Could I just do... That would be a little silly. But I could also just do that. Where I... Hold on. Here. And just point the camera down at my... I might do that. Hold on. Let's get this set up. I am going to unplug my Stream Deck, though, because I need the port. Okay. Should be turning on. There we go. Let's see how janky this looks. Plug in the lighting. There. I gotta adjust. Make sure everything's in focus. Okay. Now that that's in focus. Is this ridiculous? A little bit. Oh god, that's so delayed. Okay, never mind. We're not doing this. We will do it properly. Okay. We're gonna swap to this. I'm gonna turn off this camera for now. I have to go grab another another HDMI cord. Gotta route the cables so it doesn't get in my way. And if we swap over to... Aha. What sucks is this screen, this giant screen, does not work when we are plugged in to the microscope. So I'm going to do that so I can see my laptop. And as we can see here, we can go along. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, and these are actually pretty good. We're just going to go along and press against every single one of these pins and make sure that they don't move. If they move, we have to resolder it. Let's go up to right there. We check the ones above this resistor, and now we can push this resistor to the edge here. We'll go back and clean up afterwards. I just want to make sure everything is locked in. Oh, we got one right there. One on the edge of that resistor. Another, oh, okay. A lot of them around here. Okay. A lot of them. Oh, no. We were doing so good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. Okay, we're doing good again. That was the board moving, not the pin. And then we've got a bridge over here. Okay. See how we're doing on the rest of it before we go back. This side looks great. I'm gonna move my mic a little more. Kind of talking behind it. Okay. Oh, we got one there. There. I want to get, there we go. What was that? We got another one there. Okay, so we got 2 on this side. I just want to make sure if we have like a ton of them, I might just redo everything with hot air. But so far we're looking good. Let's check the RAM. Slightly off, but I think the majority of these pins are actually good. Check the lineup over here. Oh, spot on. Oh, it doesn't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's test them. Clean the tip off a little bit there. Yeah, it didn't really clean it. We're good. These all look phenomenal. If I do the entire RAM chip with 0 pins that are wiggly, 0 wiggly pins, I'm going to be ecstatic. I think because it's slightly off center here, we might not have a perfect RAM chip, but nothing's shorting, so that is good. This is such tiny work. It is kind of insane. And perfect RAM chip. Can I get a round of applause for that? Okay, we're definitely off here. Definitely some lifted pins over here, but this is where the Kapton tape was kind of in the way. Okay, I think... Let's see how off these are. These are definitely not even on. So, I think I want to redo this. I want to try it again with hot air. Okay. I'm going to try it again with hot air. I'm going to cover the RAM chip this time, though, too. We're going to leave the the microscope on. Trying to get it. I guess we can use the microscope for this. Have to get it right up on there so it covers up these resistors and capacitors, but doesn't cover up the pins. Gotta make sure we're kind of in the way there. Let's see. We are out of the way, but doesn't really cover up that one. So I don't think that should get in the way. It shouldn't. It should be fine. And we can put the last bit over here, and we should be all good on that front. Cool. Now we can put more flux on. We can put the lights back on it. Whew. Okay. Let's try this again. Plugging her in. I'm gonna let it heat up for a second. I'm gonna try and move this thing up. Okay. Now I can see a little bit more. I'm gonna take a drink real quick, and let's get started. I know you can only see a corner of it, but I'm gonna heat up the entire area once again. The Kapton tape is lifting up, and I need this solder to be melted. Turning up the airflow a little bit more. And by little bit, I mean it's all the way up. I'm gonna turn up the heat just a little bit. Because it's hard to get all four sides of the board or the chip heated up. I think that might have actually done it. Okay. I think we're lined up everywhere. I'm just gonna put a little more flux down and hope that this will just let everything solder down perfectly. As long as I don't touch the CPU, should all be fine. See all that solder just melts beautifully. Okay. I think from here on out, we should be able to adjust everything from the soldering iron. Little sizzly. But we can check out the lining of everything real quick while it cools down. Everything lines up beautifully. I just don't know how well everything is adhered. It's probably not going to be perfect like the RAM was because we have a lot more pins here. We got 57 degrees to go. We can probably start peeling all of this off. Make sure we didn't ruin any components. I do see one thing that might be needing some fixing. Let's double check that we didn't melt anything off the back. Cool. This is still going to be a very hot PCB, so we want to be careful. I realize that you guys can't see my exact view. Yeah, that definitely sucks. Okay, that these chips or these components look all good, except for that mistake. Let's see. Okay. This is going to be the part that sucks. But I'm pretty sure it's this orientation. I really hope it's that orientation. I'm going to turn the hot air on one more time. But we're going to go low airflow because we don't want it blowing away. Hopefully. Come on, suck it back in. Oh. Oh. I think we're good. Let it cool down a little bit. Doesn't look like it's budging. It looks like it's soldered down. Cool. Woo! Just hopefully it's the right way. If not, if this doesn't work and all of the pins are stuck down, then we can point to that capacitor exactly. I'm assuming it's a capacitor since it's orangey brown, tan, gross color. But we'll see. Now we get to wait for this to cool down once again, but I've kind of moved this out of the way. I realized the desktop audio is not on this, so you can't hear the music anymore. I apologize. Let me set this down. Let's go back to this. It's going to be upside down for you guys for a moment. Let's just copy. Paste. Cool. .30 degrees left. I'm going to take another sip. Alright. We're an hour and 15 minutes into the stream. We can start. Let's just start doing the pins real quick. Okay. Hopefully, in an ideal world, all of these pins are A-okay. And we can hopefully just try and scrape the dirt off real quick. That's going to take a while with this thing. So let's just go back to wiggle. No wiggle. A lot of dirt, so it kind of makes it hard to wiggle test. We're good. the lights on the microscope are nice, but they kind of get in the way of my hands. This is the long and tedious fun part of all of the modding of this. I mean, you don't have to test this if you don't want to. You could just boot it up and hope that it's good. But this means you don't have to open it and close it a bunch. We will have to do some soldering to get rid of that bridge. But so far, I don't want to curse it. We're looking pretty dang good. Boom. Yo, Rux. What's up? You missed all the fun part. I got the RAM first try with hot air. I just looked down without the microscope, trying to look at the pins, and forgot how tiny all of this is. I can't wait to zoom back out to the camera for you guys to be like, oh, wow. Because I know some of you know how small this is, or have a decent idea of how small the GBA CPU is. But the SP one is even smaller because it has like 30 more pins than the original Game Boy Advance. There we go. Okay, so far we have no wiggly pins and only one bridge. Now, this doesn't look as good. So let's see. Hopefully it is. Maybe I can bring these up a bit. There we go. That shouldn't be in my way. But the link port will be. So we're going to come at it from this angle. It's weird how much flux residue is left over. I only used a tiny bit. Oh, we got some wiggles. Uh-oh. Oh, even that one's wiggling too. Okay, so we got some wigglers. We got a lot of wigglers. Unfortunate. Ooh, I might try one more time with the hot air then. Because this is a lot of wiggling I'm seeing here. I think I'll just do the soldering iron. I don't know. What do you guys think? Soldering iron or hot air? Because this entire row seems to just be wiggling. What will this mod do? It saves the CPU and RAM from not being eaten alive by the corrosion that the board that these were on. That was a really complicated sentence. It will be a normal GBA, but modernized power supply and audio amp. So the speaker is going to be louder and better, and the power will be, I would like to say more efficient, but it does waste more battery. But that's also because of the amp and the LEDs and stuff. I think it's just maybe efficient is not the best word. I don't know. It's a more modern power thing. A more modern power supply. Those don't look wiggly. Ooh, is that wiggling? Yeah, that looks wiggly. These look wiggly. Okay. Once we get down here, is this... Okay, these are good. Seems like. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell just because there's so much flux. I think I'm just going to go soldering iron. That's a lot with the iron, yeah, but I am more efficient with the iron. So, yeah, let's just try and clean the chip up a little bit. Because I'm also worried that maybe some of these pins I was like, oh yeah, they're good, but it's like just so covered with flux, you know? I'm also gonna go put this hot air thing away. It's not really putting it away. I just put it over there because it's still warm, and I want to put it in the plastic bucket it sits in. I'm also gonna grab one more thing. I bought this stuff, which I will go full face cam for. I bought this stuff. It is flux remover. There's no real instructions on it. Apparently there's an expiration date on flux remover. But I don't really... Okay, it's in 2 plastic bags. I don't really know how this works. There's not very much of it, so do you need much of it? Is it very efficient? I don't know. But since there's a lot of flux here, I'm gonna try this. Okay, this doesn't... Oof. Smells like acetone, but like weak. At first it was a big woof, but now not so much. Can we... Does this not screw on? Trying to put the cap on. OEM is original something manufacturer. OEM just means first party, essentially. OEM does not mean no brand. It's the opposite of it, in fact. Okay, let's flip back to the microscope. Original equipment manufacturer, thank you. I just heard it the other day, I should have known, but... Okay, let's see how this works. Let it sit there for a second, I guess. Get a paper towel out. That seemed pretty good. Okay, let's try it on top of this chip here. Just a little bit of boop. And wipes away. Wow. Okay. I love this stuff. Hold up. This is like Goo Gone on steroids. Oh, I just had. Ooh. It probably only works for flux, but what if this did work for like adhesives? Just kind of put this all over. Just a little drop everywhere. Okay. Dude, that wipes off almost like effortlessly. Not quite effortlessly, but almost effortlessly. Oops. A little hard to get in there with the paper towel. But I'm definitely liking this. Okay. It seems to work pretty dang good. Let's move it over here. See how much flux is up in there. Yeah, it's still a little hard to... I think if I had a finer brush to really get in between the pins, it might be a little easier. But let's see, down here. Let's just try a little alcohol. Let's rotate this a little bit. I think in combination with the alcohol, this works pretty well. Sorry if this is making anybody motion sick. Oh, I thought I didn't plug my laptop in. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go for soldering here. So, we're gonna start down in this corner here. We're gonna fix that bridge. There are pearl blue replacement shells out there that I find pretty decent. It's not going to be the same as an OEM, but even then, the OEM pearl blue shells are kind of the worst. I'm staring at one of the OEM shells for the SP. They are typically the most brittle, and I don't know why. And they also... Let's go full screen here for a second. They also do this, where they have all the like yellow underneath coming up. I don't know why, but it sometimes happens with the silver ones. And I'm looking at another one that is silver that's doing the same thing, but it happens all the time on the pearl blue ones. I see it so often. But let's do a little bit of my favorite flux. But the high-speed Edo ones, you can find them on AliExpress. That should be it. Okay. Slowly. I like to heat it up a bit. Slowly drag across. With flux, of course. Make sure it's heating up all the way underneath it. I'm going to add a little bit of solder to my tip. Just the tiniest bit. If I can, there we go. Some of these just don't look like they have enough solder. And now we have some bridging. Bridging is much easier to handle when it's on the lower part of the pins. Okay. Sorry I'm not being super talkative, but it is definitely a focusing time. And there's a lot of bridging going on there. That's all right. We're using that as a solder bank right now. And now all of those other pins have a lot more solder on them. And there's only a little bit of bridging over here. Okay. I'm going to move on to this side of the CPU, and we'll save that bridge for later. Because I'm literally going to use that to replenish the solder on my tip for the rest of this. Because I'm sure there's going to be some pins over here that could use a little extra solder. It's doable without a microscope if you have a lot of practice. I would not do it without a microscope, though. I also want to check this guy out here. He looks like he's actually really soldered well, so gonna... I think we can safely try and remove the rest of this solder, which will just pretty much be me heating it up, trying to get it on my tip. Cleaning the tip, and rinse and repeat. I'm going to use some flux again. And there we go. We're starting to burn off some of the solder mask. So I am going to put the soldering iron away. Hopefully we are all good there. I'm also going to let it chill for a second. I'm going to do some solder remove or flux removal. Okay. It's a little tough to do under the microscope. Apparently it's not wanting to come off now. Okay, we'll try it with the toothbrush then. In some areas, I guess it works better than others. Or maybe the flux that I like, it doesn't like to work. It's slowly coming off of this side. Not very well, though. You can see over here... Oh, I didn't finish the bridge. Oh, no, I did. That was the first thing I did. Duh. That stuff just doesn't want to come off. But over here... let's go back up to this spot. Let's use some IPA. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. So I'm going to swap back over to this. I mean, I could scrape it up with this, but okay. We are going to test all these pins again. Good. Come on. Here we go. These are looking nice and solid. I am also just going to go ahead and check all of the pins. Since we're here, let's keep the board down. It'd be so nice if I could just drag this across all the pins like I'm playing a piano. It would go a lot faster. Isn't this a ton of fun to watch? This is exciting entertainment. I appreciate every one of you for sticking around and watching, especially because I'm about to do this again on these other two sides. I'm not going to check the RAM again. The RAM was beautiful. I'm confident in the RAM. This I'm confident in as well, but now that we've done some cleanup, I just want to make sure we're good. I really don't want to have to open this up again if I don't have to. Fun part is we also get to still do an IPS mod after this. But it should be pretty fast. Okay, and here are the new pins we actually just worked on. So these could actually be different, and we're good. We did a good job there. All right, last bit. These look solid, though. Gosh. Ah. Whew. My back is starting to feel it. Can I fit the rest of them on screen? I can. Cool. This PCB holder sucks. But so do helping hands, let's be real. I need one that's like a vice grip, but PCB safe. Alright. Whoo! Oh boy. We're done with the microscope. Where is the... Oh, there it is. Okay. Trying to find the little rubber cover for my dental picks so I don't stab myself. I've done that once with those so far. It's not that bad because it's the tiniest little hole, but if there's still flux or anything gross on it, I don't want that in my body, so yeah. Okay, I'm going to unplug something. I'll just unplug the microscope. It's going to go bye-bye. And we can put this whole mess on the floor. My desk is now a mess. Gotta get this HDMI. Why don't you just see me full screen for a minute, huh? How you guys doing? I've not been paying attention to chat, because this is very much a mod of focus. Oh, we also get to put a new speaker in here. Okay. Wow, there's been a lot of chat. And new names that I don't recognize. Oh, wow, there's a lot going on. Let's see. All of the bridges are gone. I don't think I could have missed any now, but that was a chat from a while ago. I appreciate you. My UPS's batteries died. They lasted longer than they usually do, so I ordered new batteries for it. The batteries were just delivered, so I'm going to fix up the UPS and throw you on the big screen. Cool. I'm live on the big screen. Hopefully, maybe. Yesterday I was on a flea market and got a fully working DS Lite in baby blue for €2. Wow. That's awesome. OEM can be negative. Just depends on the quality of the company. Like, Apple can still make bad OEM. Like, their chargers are better now. But like the Lightning port obviously was garbage, but the cables were pretty garbage too. There's some, it just depends on the quality of the product. OEM isn't necessarily a negative. It's just that who makes it. Yeah, do the practice kit. I think I might do, I still want to do a practice kit live, but it's just hard to like find a time far enough in the future that people will be able to follow along with live. So it's not Flux, it's honey. It does look like honey. I usually solder at 300 degrees Celsius. I use non no unleaded, non-leaded, no lead solder, which typically has a higher melting point. But typically, it does have a higher melting point than leaded solder. Uh, so 300 is usually where I have it. If it's stubborn old solder, I will bump it up to 350. I don't really like going beyond 350 just because that's where I tend to burn a lot of things. But you can go higher than that. I would definitely wouldn't go past 400. I've never seen it necessary unless you're like doing hot air and you're trying to remove something that like is BGA, but you're probably not gonna mess around with that for a long time. If ever. I haven't even messed around with BGA. So yeah. Did you ever play Dadius? I just finished my first playthrough and can't wait to do things differently. I have not. I haven't really looked too into it, but the art doesn't seem to be my type of game, but I should probably look into it more. If Incubate Games wanted to send it my way, for me to take a look at, I wouldn't say no. They've sent me a few games. Yeah. GBA modding is financially never that profitable. It is not. It's time consuming and expensive. It wouldn't pay much now. Plus, a lot of people don't. Some people price it way too high, and I don't know how they get away with it. And some people don't price it high enough. You should. I can't figure out the words. They don't price it high enough because they don't give themselves enough credit. The work is easy, but to someone who doesn't want to do it, is too scared to do it, or thinks they can't do it, or maybe they just can't do it. It's your work is valuable to the product. Just because a lot of people can easily do it. I mean, I teach you guys how to do this on this channel. I'm not like trying to hide how you do this stuff, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, I know how easy it is and how many people can do it themselves, so I'm not gonna leave much room for profit for me." Because like me, I'd be like, "Well, I don't want to pay that much," so then I would do it. That's why I do it. I don't buy it from other people. But yeah, I feel like I price my stuff pretty fairly. People might not like what I'm gonna price this at, but this is a lot more work than the average Game Boy mod, so I'm gonna price it accordingly. Plus, this is more expensive than your typical Game Boy mod, so I don't know. I didn't think about it too much. I didn't realize until last night. I'm like, oh, I need to find a price for this. Because it's not going to be the same price as the charity event. The charity event, I lower the prices or sometimes raise them. I try and find a decent level so people will buy it instantly but get the most for charity. But this is not for charity, and I want to get paid. So I'm going to set this at $300. It might be more expensive in the future. It might be less expensive in the future. But right now, I feel like 300 is fair. So, back from doing dishwashing. We're good now, Erwin. We're good. I don't know how old that is, but... Okay. It's out of print now. Interesting. It's probably just out of stock. I would imagine they would make more of them. Sometimes retro modding is pretty slow to restock stuff. I need to get the actual kit out. We're also doing the V5 with this today. Zoom out a little more. I really need to organize this area. It is a mess. Cool. This is the Funnyplaying motherboard. I feel like 300 is more than fair, honestly. I should probably charge more. But I know 300 will at least put me in Profitville for the parts spent. So we'll see. Like I said, you might be getting a steal today. I also need to gauge interest in it. Now this is interesting. Kind of scary at the same time. Well, it seems that they have put all of the Phillips screws as black. And I hope they didn't just mess up and put 4 of the this screw in there. We'll be very careful when we put this together. Maybe let's do this. Let's find a Phillips screw. Is there? Do I have another bucket? I do. Okay. Let's compare and contrast. Can I just grab one? Thank you. Yeah, I think they put the wrong screws in here. Yikes. Because that is significantly longer. And it's going to be hard for you guys to see there. It's also out of focus. But that is quite the difference in size. It is very small, but it's quite the difference in size. Also, for scale, this is what I was working on. And there's the size of the screw. Okay, so we'll leave these out, so we don't accidentally use the wrong stuff. And we're not using the gray buttons. Put those off to the side. My fan is going crazy on my laptop. I know I'm streaming and all, but it seems like a lot. You really forget how small the legs on those chips are until you see it zoomed out. They are teeny tiny. And imagine it's even smaller for the SP and even smaller for a lot of other components in the modern era. Not necessarily CPUs. I feel like CPUs are getting bigger. I don't know what the Switch CPU is compared to this. I'd be interested. I feel like the Switch one is going to be bigger, but that's going to be BGA. Which I've said that like 4 times now. So BGA is ball grid array, which means there's solder balls underneath the chip. So you don't have any pins to solder to. You have to use special tools to take those off and reball them and then solder them back down. I mean, I think you can do it all with hot air, but yeah. The Funnyplaying motherboard does. It has LEDs for coolness. It has an upgraded amp and speaker. Well, we have to add the speaker, but it's got an amp. It's got a reworked power stuff. Also, I keep forgetting, it has sleep mode. There's some quirks to sleep mode, but I'll explain that later. And it also saves the CPU and RAM from being destroyed on this motherboard. So this motherboard is covered in corrosion, and that's where these came from. That is the only thing you need to swap over is these two chips, and you need a speaker. You can use it. You can use a speaker from the original motherboard, or you can get an aftermarket one. I think I'm out of Funnyplaying ones. Oh, that went on the ground. Hopefully, this will give us the full power of the amp. Either way, it is ridiculously loud. It is over the top, annoyingly loud. So, I don't think we really need the full power of the amp. There we go. Okay. And this is the 32 pin. Not the 40 pin. I need to zoom back out again. I believe, yeah, this is the end. So it's always the smaller end of the ribbon cable that goes in here. And this is also a pin down section. I'm just gonna go ahead and install this since it's all stuck down to the screen anyways. Might as well just install this. And for those of you who have been asking and wondering, how could you possibly trim a shell for one of these? I've got a video on that coming up soon. I've actually got a lot of videos coming up soon. I'm wondering if I should announce it now or not. There's gonna be a second channel coming. Since the podcast is done for now, I'm gonna replace it with a second channel. It will be in the style of my mate Vince, if you've seen his channel. It'll be kind of like that, but probably lower effort, just minimal editing stuff, but also in the style of Scott's Stash, Scott the Waz's second channel. So I don't know. I'm gonna try and premiere that channel. It's not. I don't have a second channel yet. I'm still thinking of a name, but I don't want to say it so someone takes the handle. But it. I'm hoping to start that up at the beginning of next month. I've been recording a lot lately for this channel and the second channel. So look out for that. So that, and I'm hoping also, I don't know for sure yet. It might take a while to get there too. But I'm hoping to do 2 videos a week on the second channel. And then about a video every 2 weeks on the main channel. And also, there will be extended cuts of parts of videos on the second channel. So like I'm doing another GBC mod kit tutorial, and for that I'll have an extended cut of the tutorial where I don't do as many cuts. So if you're like, I want a little bit more, I want to see a little bit more of what he's doing, then that'll be on the second channel. Somewhere, a healthy mix between seeing everything on stream that you would see on stream and more than you would see in the regular tutorials. If that makes sense. That is what is coming in the future. Cool refurbs, extended videos, and when I'm talking about Scott Stash stuff, I mean like the carpet videos. If you know, you know. I'm not putting that on yet. Okay. There and there. Cool. Maybe got a little ahead of myself with putting the buttons in. I'm actually gonna do this. Another thing that's nice about this mod is, if you haven't noticed, Select L and R have their test pads up here, so it's a little easier to get to, but all the wires are made long enough anyways, so it doesn't really matter, but it's still nice. Guess we should get some solder going on these. There we go. Okay, maybe we should... Oh, gosh. Okay. I wouldn't plug the ribbon cable in until after you've done all the soldering. I'm also just going to put a little bit down here. And before anybody asks, no, I will never speed run one of these boards. I hope to improve my time over time. There we go. Well, not quite done with soldering. Shouldn't have unplugged that yet. And speaker is soldered. Now we're done soldering. It's weird doing this upside down. Trying to grab all of the wires. There we go. Try to line the speaker back up. There we go. Okay. I think we're locked in now. Okay. Screwdriver. I haven't used that like the entire time. That is not the right Phillips head. We need the bigger one, PH1. I'm going to steal some old screws because I just don't trust that the black screws aren't going to poke through. Yikes. I'd actually like to correct myself from earlier. I said that the having the soldering pads for LR and Select being there aren't that necessary. It's actually very nice because it means that I don't have to worry about the cables being pinched when I close it all up. So now we should be able to put all of this in. Maybe. Why don't you line up? Come on now. There we go. L and R can be such a pain in the butt sometimes. Okay. Now, I think I'm just going to put the back on. I don't think I'm going to fully screw it down yet. Just because I am worried about that capacitor being backwards that flew off. So we're just going to test to make sure it turns on. If it doesn't turn on, we'll flip that one around. If it does turn on, I think we're good to go. And it turns on. I don't know. I don't understand why. Hope I didn't break anything. We seem good. Okay. Thank you, DC. I was waiting for you to say light pipe earlier. I can always trust that you will. Whether it's helpful or not, I can always trust you will say it. I really like the way the clear and the pink looks. Interesting. Why? Why are we not lining up here? There we go. Goodness gracious. Ah. Okay. I do kind of wish that I had a clear, or like one of the mirror shells, but I don't. That way you could see the board a little clearer. But I also think, I don't think the components are as cool looking as the original. They're also small, so tiny. So I think it looks better frosted. All right. Let's put on the finishing touches. Boom. Boom. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Hopefully none of the flux went over the buttons. God, it's so loud. That wasn't even max. Dude, it's so loud. I don't know if it picks up on the mic since I have such a good mic. Okay. We're all the way max brightness. I'm going to peel the peel. Not yet. Let's wait to make sure A and B are good. All the D-pad is good. Sorry. Okay, cool. I don't need to go back and clean the buttons. It does feel... Okay. Oh, that's because that's not screwed down all the way. Goodness gracious. Okay. Yeah, that feels better. The D-pad felt a little too close. Or too far. It came like really flat with the shell. I still feel like it could be better. Ooh. Did I miss? I don't know. I might have messed something up when I did that. Nope. Okay. Let's get a game that you guys know and love. I might have to take this back apart because I don't know why. Oh, that screw's not even screwed down all the way. I don't know why this side of the board has just been so meh. There we go. Okay, that feels a lot better now. This screw is not screwed down very much at all. Is that all the way down? It's almost like these screws that they came with weren't meant for the shell, but it's not poking through anywhere. Seems good now. I might end up switching the D-pad out because I don't... It works, it just doesn't feel like what I'm used to. We'll see. I'm going to grab a Pokemon game or something real quick. I grabbed Pokemon, and I actually haven't tested this since I bought it. Metroid Zero Mission, so we'll try Pokemon first. goodness. Okay, well, Emerald is not working, but I don't know if I've ever actually cleaned the Emerald pins. Okay, we'll try zero meshing. Okay, we'll try this, the test card again. Let's turn it down. That's interesting. My batteries must be weak. Okay, I turned down the volume, and now it's working. Is it gonna freeze on me if I have the volume all the way up? No. It's a little too loud. Okay, we can peel the peel now. Oops. Turn the brightness down. Did I... Hold up. This other touchpad's not working. Whoever owned this before went crazy on this stuff. What is this? Never seen this before. Just cool picture of Samus. Dope. It's in Japanese, so I can't really tell what's going on. Cool. Alright. Let's do Emerald. I feel like a lot of people know the music in this. So don't have the volume at max when you boot it up. If your batteries are low, it won't boot up. I don't think this speaker was meant to go with an amp because it does sound a lot better on the Funnyplaying speaker. I will say that. I don't know if I have another Funnyplaying speaker though. I think at the very least I will swap the speaker if I will try an OEM speaker, see if it sounds better. I don't think it will. But yeah, okay. Oh, does this? No, I don't know what that does then. I don't like the pixel effects, so I turn that off. I do turn on frame blending for everybody because I think it looks better. I learned also, if you try and press all three at the same time, it may not work. If you go select right and then left in a quicker succession, it will work better to open up the menu and close it. So, or at least start or select and then press both. Yeah. I have not played Emerald on this cartridge yet. I started it. I think I just started it to test it. Yeah. Because I swapped the battery on this. I swapped the battery to a way too big a one. This is a 2025 and it barely fits in there. But that sucker's lasting a long time. That's going to last at least 30 years. Because it's supposed to be a 1616 in there, and that's a 2025. So, woo! It might be a 2016, not a 1616. Either way. That kind of displays all the... Well, okay. Let's turn it on. That's the beautiful boot animation with the LEDs in a row there. And if I believe you press A and B and... Or you just hold A and B. Right? Yeah. And it'll change the LED mode. There's that sweetness. You press it and hold it again. Turns it off. Press and hold it again. Turns back on. Does some breathing as it cycles through all the colors. And it goes backwards. And you hold it again. And it should go back to purple. Purpley pink. I think I'll leave it here. I think, actually, if you... Nope. Hold on. Let's go over all the instructions first. Where's my phone? Oh, gosh. It has been a long stream. Okay. I'm going to list this first. And then we'll go over the instructions real quick. Ooh. I should probably make an entirely new listing for it, though. Okay. That's a V2. Where's a V5? There we go. Duplicate. Funnyplaying Mobo. I feel like people can tell that it's all clear. We'll make a draft. And up that to $299.99. Oh, that's almost made it $29,000. Okay. Okay. Add one to inventory, and it is going live right now. Should be the top link in the description. It'll take you to the GBA page. If you're wanting it, it is $300. It'll probably be more expensive in the future. I just don't know exactly what a fair price is yet. I think that is definitely a fair price for how much work I've put into this stream. It took me 2.5 hours to do that mod. So I'm going to go to the Funnyplaying website real quick. Pull up the instructions. Funnyplaying. Shop. GBA. Whoa, they did a new... Did they do a new colorway? They did do a new colorway. That's kind of cool. Look at that. Turn up the... Look at that. It's like copper and black. It's cool. Where is the instructions? There it is. Okay. Can I... save the photos? Okay. How do I... Oh, yeah. So, put the batteries back in here. We want to put it into sleep mode. We press select A and B. Do we? Maybe you have to be in a game. Interesting. Sleep mode is not turning off the screen. Maybe that's what the capacitor being flipped around? I might have to contact Funnyplaying. Because that's not right. I don't think that would be an issue with the capacitor, though. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. Is everything is soldered down correctly. But I feel like if that capacitor was backwards, it wouldn't turn on at all. I don't know. But I want to... So start A and B will control the brightness. Here, let's take the game out real quick. Start A and B. Oh wait, start and then... Okay. Holding start and A brings down the brightness. Holding start and B brings down the brightness. Start and A brings up the brightness. I'm going to bring it all the way down. Or at least that far down, I feel like is fair. And then we can start L, A and B. Start and L will make it more... Start L and A will make it more saturated. Start L and B will make it less saturated. I can't really tell the difference unless it's just not working. But this all auto saves. So. And then start in R. Start. I guess we have to go into the single LED mode. Okay. Start in R. There we go. And then press A and B to adjust. Slowly. Okay. Ever so slowly adjusting the LEDs. And then R will cycle through all the LEDs. And there are 2 LEDs on the back for L and R, just so we're all aware. And I don't think you can adjust the power LED color. So, cool. I'll have to ask Funnyplaying why the standby mode does not turn off the screen. I might just flip that capacitor around and see if that's what the difference is. But yeah. I will put the instructions in the listing. Or maybe I'll just print it out and send it with... I think I'll print it out and send it with this stuff because I delete the listings once they're sold. So, okay. What brand scope do I have? I don't know. If you want to look back in... Okay, it might be in my tool section. I'm not sure. The tool section in my website. If you go to retroremaster.com, top link in the description, hit the hamburger menu on the left, and then it should have tools that I use. It might be in that section. If not, there's a link to it in the description of my P.O. Box video from like 1.5 years ago. But I think it was pretty expensive, and because of the price, I don't recommend it. And it's just kind of a generic telescope, microscope anyways. So, yeah. But that's it. If you want this, it is up on the website right now. And, yeah, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. And, yeah, I've got other stuff to do today. So, thank you all for coming out. Thank you for hanging out for all of this time. We eventually got it. It took a while, but we got there. Hopefully, we'll do better next time. More practice, the better we'll do. And hopefully, we'll do it faster. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. That was a good snap. It was an alright snap. It was good. Solid.